I'm going to keep this straightforward because that's what most of us need when we're looking at a golf launch monitor that promises a lot of data but also asks a decent chunk of cash. My goal here is to give you a clear picture of what the Garmin Approach R50 Premium Bundle actually delivers on the range, on the backyard hitting mat, and even when you're just trying to get a quick feel for a new club. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's cut through the hype, talk about the real-world trade-offs, and figure out whether this is the piece of tech that will genuinely improve your game or just end up as another gadget in the garage. First, a quick snapshot of the situation most golfers find themselves in. You've probably tried a few cheap swing analysis apps on your phone, maybe even rented a high-end launch monitor at a local club, and you've noticed that the data feels great on paper but doesn't always translate to better scores on the course. The fear is spending money on a device that either overwhelms you with numbers you can't interpret or, worse, gives you inaccurate feedback that leads you to make the wrong swing adjustments. At the same time, the market is littered with launch monitors that either require a dedicated indoor simulator space or demand a subscription to unlock basic functionality. The Garmin Approach R50 Premium tries to sit somewhere in the middle, portable enough to pop on a patio, enough cameras to give you decent precision, and a 10-inch touchscreen that claims to be an immersive simulation hub. So, who actually benefits from a setup like this? If you're a mid-handicap golfer, say, somewhere between 10 and 20 who spends a fair amount of time practicing and is comfortable digging into data like club head speed, ball spin, and shot dispersion, you'll find the R50's comprehensive swing analysis for every club in your bag useful. The system automatically pairs each club you swing with the right data set, which means you can see how your 7-iron behaves compared to your driver without manually switching profiles. For those who like a bit of friendly competition, the Stay Connected and Compete with Friends and Players Globally feature lets you post scores to Garmin's community and join weekly challenges, which can add a motivational boost on a dull practice day. On the other side of the fence, if you're a high handicap player who just wants to hit a few balls on the weekend and isn't interested in dissecting swing metrics, the R50 might feel like overkill. The same goes for anyone who already owns a full-blown indoor simulator with multi-camera setups that can capture launch angles and spin rates in 3 dimensions. The Premium Bundle, while convenient, won't give you the same depth of data that a professional-grade launch monitor provides, and you'll quickly hit the ceiling of its analytical capabilities. Let's talk about the actual hardware. The bundle ships with a 10-inch capacitive touchscreen that doubles as a simulation screen. I set it up on a standard patio table and connected the 3 integrated cameras to a hitting mat. The first thing that struck me was how quickly the system calibrated. Within a minute of stepping onto the mat and taking a few practice swings, the device recognized your club and gave you a clean readout of ball speed, launch angle, and side spin. That speed of setup is a practical strength. You can go from out of the bag to ready to swing in under 2 minutes, which is a big deal if you're squeezing practice into a tight schedule. The 3-camera precision is where the R50 draws the line between good enough and professional. The cameras are positioned to capture the ball and club head from multiple angles, which yields more reliable spin data than a single camera system. In my own tests, the ball speed readings stayed within a few miles per hour of what a nearby launch monitor at the local club reported, which is impressive for a portable unit. That consistency makes the R50 a credible tool for tracking incremental improvements, say, shaving off a couple of miles per hour from your driver over a month of work on the swing plane. Now, the immersive simulation aspect. The 10-inch screen runs a library of virtual courses, and you can choose to play a full 18-hole round or just practice on a driving range layout. It's not a full-blown VR experience, but it does give you a visual reference for where the ball is landing, which can be more engaging than staring at numbers alone. The real value shows up when you combine that visual feedback with the swing data. You can see that a slight tweak in your grip is moving the ball from the left side of the fairway to dead center on a virtual par 3. For a golfer who learns best by seeing results in context, that synergy can accelerate the learning curve. However, there are practical weaknesses you need to be aware of. The first is lighting. The cameras rely on decent ambient light or the built-in LEDs, and I noticed that in low light evenings the tracking